And here we are once again then. The Turkish Grand Prix finally makes its way back onto the Formula One calendar in 2021. This race was supposed to happen in place of the Canadian Grand Prix in the 7th of June. It got cancelled, and then the drop-off later on of the Japanese Grand Prix means that Turkey finally takes part here in the first weekend of October. Welcome one and all to the final 7 races for the title, with just 2 points between Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. We're into the last few races of the Formula One 2021 season. We're back in Turkey, in Istanbul. It's so intercontinental. Welcome to the Turkish Grand Prix. It's round 16 of the season as well. Following this, we begin a charge across the Americas with the United States Grand Prix on the 24th of October. Mexico starts off another triple header, the 7th of November, the 14th of November. We go back for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix in Interlagos, and Qatar takes its debut on the calendar on the 21st of November. In December, the 2 races to round out the season. Saudi Arabia at the new Jeddah Street Circuit on the 5th of December, before a reprofiled Abu Dhabi sees the season conclude on December the 12th. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, it's Lewis Hamilton who leads by just 2 points to Max Verstappen. Mathematically, the only 2 still remaining in this title fight for the last 7 races, and it is so close between them. Valtteri Bottas is holding off Lando Norris in 3rd and 4th. Sergio Perez goes P5. He's 8 points clear of Carlos Sainz, who's ahead of his teammate Charles Leclerc. Danny Ricciardo has 8 points. Pierre Gasly 9th, and Fernando Alonso rounds out the top 10. No position changes on page 2, with Esteban Ocon 10 points clear of Sebastian Vettel. Lance Stroll ahead of Yuki Tsunoda. Tsunoda 2 points clear now of George Russell, who's had 5 races in a row in the points. Great for the Williams team, ahead of Nicholas Latifi on 7. Raikkonen has 6, Giovinazzi 1, Schumacher, Kubica and Mazepin still the only drivers with no points on the board. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes leads the way by exactly 33 points to Red Bull Racing as well. McLaren are holding off Ferrari as well after a good surge of good races in Italy and Russia. Alpine have 5th place pretty much confirmed to them from AlphaTauri ahead of Aston Martin. Williams in 8th place now, so far ahead of both Alfa Romeo on 7, and the only team with no points, unsurprisingly, is Haas on 0. It's the 2021 Turkish Grand Prix, and this is your Grand Prix preview. Well, it really is anybody's game coming into the last 7 races as well. We're here in Istanbul's Intercity Motorsport Park as well. We're on the Asia side of Turkey as well, making it the first of the flyaways that we have in 2022. Following this, as you know, the United States Grand Prix, followed by a race in Mexico, Brazil, Qatar, and then rounding out the seasons in December at Saudi Arabia at the Jeddah Street Circuit, and then again in Abu Dhabi as well on a newly modified circuit. We're in for a cracker of a last 7 races as well, and with just 2 points between Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen, the title fight is ever closer. Coming into this weekend then, let's get off with your Thursday news and start with the fact that Red Bull are running a very special livery this weekend. Both Red Bull and AlphaTauri are going to honour Honda this weekend as well. Their special white liveried cars as well. If I move closer to this end, you can see them alongside a white painted Red Bull as well, in honour of Japan, with the red numbers at the front with a circle red dot as well. A one-off livery as well, because this weekend should have been the Japanese Grand Prix and they couldn't run it, obviously with Japan's race being cancelled. But also news breaking this morning that Red Bull and Honda will continue their engine development deal as well, even though Honda are officially leaving this year as well for 2022 and 2023. It's been agreed that Red Bull can run the Honda engines as Honda engines as well, before Red Bull make their own engines for the 2024 season as well, presumably in-house with Aston Martin, which will be a Mercedes engine as well. So quite shocking news that could be coming there as well. Another one coming in as well. We've heard Peugeot could be a deal, but the strongest one on the table could be the fact that Audi back Red Bull as well, and they sort of merge together in a factory team if Audi and Porsche decide to join Formula One, because that's another big thing coming from the past couple of weeks while we've been off since the Russian Grand Prix. Porsche and Audi have committed themselves to an entry fee for 2026 as well. The rumour is that they will join the grid as well. We'll have a Porsche and Audi Formula One team in some respects for 2025 and 2026, when the new regulations come in as well for the hybrid engines that we do know now are going to be V6 as well, turbocharged, but they are dropping the MGU-H, which is the heatsink of the car. We'll have more on that tomorrow and throughout the weekend as well as the story goes on. Coming into Turkey, Lewis Hamilton arrived this morning as well in a very fetching outfit as well. He describes as something unique and key to him as well, which is he looked fantastic as well, so it's lovely to see. Going further as well, Lando Norris says, I just want to get back in the car and try again. He's keen to push on after what happened in Sochi as well. He has spent over 24 hours in the simulator back at McLaren HQ as well, trying to understand what went wrong in Sochi as well. He also made a guest appearance on the UK TV talk show this morning, hosted by Philip Schofield and Holly Willoughby, where he discussed about his mental health as well and how it affects throughout the season as we go, and downtime is important as well, and keeping it focused and not dwelling on the past. So expect Lando to be in good strides here this weekend, coming off two great performances for McLaren as well. Carlos Sainz relishing the challenge of starting from the back of the grid, as he's been confirmed to take a second different power unit as well. So he's fourth of the year, which means he'll have to start from the back of the grid. There's a lot of rumour going around. Is Lewis Hamilton going to take his penalty this weekend for that damaged engine back at the Italian Grand Prix? This makes sense. Italy was a couple of races ago. Turkey is a track you can overtake on, so we'll have to wait and see whether or not Lewis decides to start from the back of the grid for this weekend's race or not. If so, what does that do for the championship? With Verstappen taking his penalty last time out in Russia, and with the crazy wet weather, he still managed to finish in second place as well, bringing the gap down to 2 points between them in Hamilton's favour. Going on as well, Hamilton says he's better prepared for 2021 for the Turkish Grand Prix after a 5-second pole disadvantage last year here due to the wet weather conditions, where Lance Stroll took an amazing debut pole position in the then Racing Point team. Max Verstappen also surprisingly saying in the press conference, it's not really going to change my life. And he's, of course, talking about if he does win the 2021 World Championship, it's not really going to change his life, which I find that a bit of a lie. He's just saying that to play gamemanship with Lewis Hamilton. Of course it's going to affect him. Of course it's going to change his life. Being a world champion does. So we look forward to seeing what could happen there. Pressure? What pressure? Hamilton and Verstappen shrug off the title fight as well, but who is going to crack here in Turkey? Russell praises amazing job by Williams after matching Perez's points tally in the last 5 races. Yes, George Russell has matched Sergio Perez's total points in the past races. That is unbelievable for them too as well. And of course, the biggest news coming out of this weekend doesn't really affect anything with the F1 teams, but does affect the FIA with the two heroes, let's call them because they were, the two heroes of the Bahrain crash fire that we had as well, of Alan van der Merwe and Dr. Ian Roberts, the two in the medical car. Alan van der Merwe drives the medical car, and Dr. Ian Roberts, of course, who is the protege of the late great Professor Sid Watkins. Sadly, they have both contracted COVID before they came out to the track. So this weekend as well, it's a Formula E affair in the medical car. The Formula E safety car driver of Bruno Carella and the medical delegate, Dr. Bruno Francischi, will also take part. So we're going to have Bruno driving the medical car. And, well, actually, there's two Brunos, isn't there? So the first, Bruno Carella, will be driving the medical car, and Dr. Bruno Francischi will be the doctor on hand this weekend should anything go wrong. So the first time they've missed a race for a couple of years now, which is unfortunate. But we send a speedy recovery to Alan van der Merwe and Dr. Ian Roberts, and let's hope we can have them back out next time out at the Grand Prix in America at the Circuit of the Americas. Right, that's it then. All caught up with the news coming out of today for Formula One. Let's get on to Lap Attack. We're missing it in Russia as well. Copyright issues kept cropping up as well, as it did for quite a number of people who used the F1 2021 game. But this time it shouldn't be a problem. Why? Because we're using a game that came out 10 years ago. Yes, we're having to use, once again, F1 2011 on the Xbox 360 by Codemasters. Why? It's the last game where in the Istanbul Motorsport City Park was on. So, all the way from last year when we recorded this, with some new introductions, but the game all the way from F1 2011, here's a look at the Istanbul Park. I apologise for the quality, it was Xbox 360 a year ago. But let's take a look then around the circuit of Istanbul in Lap Attack. Let's take a look around the Istanbul City Circuit Park, a 3.316 mile circuit, top speed at 205 miles an hour, elevation change at over 40 metres, and the lap record here 1:24.770 set by Montoya. Start the lap. Head downhill, open up the DRS zone into the downhill braking zone for turn 1. Be careful not to let the car go too deep, but you can pick up a very late apex as you hurtle uphill through 2 into the uphill heavier braking zone into turn 3. Banked part of the circuit, you immediately drop down the hill to turn 4. A sharp 90-degree right-hander into the 90-degree left at turn 5 and 6. Open up the kinetic energy system on the car as you launch uphill towards turn 7 before the fearless triple apex of turn 8. The drivers say this one is really going to be felt on the necks. 3 times left, left and left again, all by trying to keep at full throttle at over nearly 200 miles an hour in a 2020 car. Drop down the hill, another 90 left into the braking zone at turn 9 and turn 10, back up towards the second DRS detection point on the track at turn number 11. Now run all the way uphill with the DRS open into the braking zone of turn 12. Scene, of course, of Red Bull making their famous 1-2 crash in 2010. Hard on the brakes and overtaking opportunity here before the quick kink into turn 13 and the last corner turn 14. Hug the inside curb, open up the DRS once again and fire it to a line. That is a lap of the Istanbul Park circuit here for the Turkish Grand Prix. I know it gets crazier every single time I watch it as well. Why didn't Codemasters put it in the game? If they can add Imola and Portimao, why not add Istanbul? They've already got the laser scan right there. How much is it going to be just to drop it on the track and put some fans in? It's not going to be that hard at all. Come on. Well, it probably is harder than we're saying it is, but come on, Codemasters. Give us something in a very broken game as well. On the PC version, and we're seeing it crop up now in the PS5 version as well. Saying of which, you can join us at 8 o'clock British Summer Time over on BBV Esports for the Benelux series as well. We'll be racing, I think, in Sao Paulo, Brazil for that one. So join us. It's going to be another cracker. Either that or we're at Suzuka, Japan. I can't quite remember where we are. But join us tonight, 8 p.m. on BBV Esports as well for all of the action. Right, let's give you the coverage details for this weekend's race. Same times it was then at the last Grand Prix. We'll be on air 9:30 for practice 1, then 1 o'clock for practice 2. Practice 3 on the Saturday is underway, 9:50. Session starts at 10. Qualifying, we're underway 12:40 with the green lights for the session at 1 o'clock. And the same time on Sunday, 12:30 for the race, getting underway at 1 o'clock. And also, if you like the British Touring Cars, 3 races coming to you on Sunday from Donington as well. 11:55 for race 1. Race 2 is delayed. We'll be showing that at 3:30, but you can watch it at 2:35 live on ITV4. And the last race of the day will be underway at 5:20 British Summer Time for all the action from the penultimate weekend at the BTCC. And it should be a weekend to remember as well. Across Formula One's title fight with just 2 points between them, the touring cars hotting up as well. It's going to be a great weekend of sport. Make sure to like and subscribe. And of course, join us tomorrow and set all the reminders for all of the action this weekend here on the YouTube channel. It's going to be a great one as well. Rain predicted for the Turkish Grand Prix. Will it affect the race? It's certainly going to affect qualifying. So tomorrow, the only dry running. Remember last year, the track was slippery even when dry. We're in for a cracker. We're in for a proper Turkish delight. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night to you all.